When the Australian RBA, like in many other countries, started hiking interest rate back in 2022, people in the market, experts, the media went into a frenzy predicting a property market crash. More than a year on now, let's do a quick assessment. Did the market collapse? No. Did the market correct itself from the unprecedented boom during COVID? Yes. Was it enough to say that it went into a free fall situation? Far from it. Now, as an overseas property investor, should you wait further or act sooner? If you'd like to find out more, please stay on. Hi, I'm Jolene from ALE Property. We are a property company with offices here in Melbourne and in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. If you've watched my previous videos, we focus mainly on guiding overseas investors through buying properties in Australia. Please like my video and subscribe to the channel if this is something that you like to follow. Now, let me give you a very quick summary of what happened to the Australian property market after the RBA announced interest rate increases. Like in many other countries, this was introduced to fight the soaring inflation that has resulted from the COVID pandemic. In order to keep the inflation down, we've had 12 increases from May 2022 from 0.1% to 4.1% in around June this year, and it's currently stabilizing. This has caused property markets across the country to experience a halt, and prices were correcting month to month. But the price correction was a lot less harsh than what was predicted. In fact, in Melbourne, it corrected about 8 to 9% when it was, initially predicted to fall, up to 15% or even 20%. Now, that means that the Melbourne property market now is still well above pre-pandemic levels. Some people may be thinking of going to wait for it to fall further, but prices started picking up since early this year, I think around January, February, and it's stabilizing. So many people, especially if you're overseas, you're not sure why did this happen. Now, first of all, it's lack of supply. The media, the researchers, the banks, and everyone else that you know in Australia would know this fact. We just don't have enough homes to house everyone in Australia. Plus, in Victoria alone, we have had about 161,000 new residents just in the past 12 months. That translates to a 67,000 homes that are required just to house the newcomer. Not to mention the fact that local people are already experiencing a lack of supply. So rental properties are also at record high rental levels right now. And while selling condition may be so-so, not at its best right now, property owners are putting their property back on hold instead of selling them on the market, because vacancy is so low now, interest rate is so good now, and while there are demand for properties, like people want to buy them, but there are just not enough stock on the market right now. And you might ask me, how about new properties, new developments? Well, in similar situation, newly completed properties are being snapped up, and because this is also the type of property that's accessible to foreigners. Now remember, foreigners can only buy new properties, so new properties are open to the market for foreigners and the locals. So a lot of people prefer to buy properties that are completed, that they can move in straight away or soon, rather than wait and continue to pay rent. So the COVID years has sort of created like a gap of new development launches, causing low supply situation. Approvals of new developments are still low, and new launches itself are also at a low level. And that's also because there are lack of new sites, and because of high construction costs. If you don't know, or if you didn't know, construction costs in Melbourne generally, I think, it's increased around up to 30% since the pandemic. So developers are less keen to pick up a new project now, not knowing if they are able to sell them. And all new projects that were launched were selling at a much higher prices. So if you have been following Melbourne property prices in the past few years, you would realize that, say, 2 years ago, whether it was from me or something that you've seen advertised online, you could comfortably get a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment for around 650,000 or sometimes even less. And now, 2 years forward, right now, all new launches for similar property, 2-bed, 2-bath, you're looking at least 750,000 up to about over 900,000 at the moment. So the same thing happens in the houses development. At the same time, there have also been some changes. The FIRB application fee has now increased a further $900. If you don't know what that means, watch some of the previous videos that I've made. It's basically a cost that every foreigner will have to pay. And in Victoria, land taxes will also be increasing. So if you ask me what's my opinion of it, I honestly don't think that this is going to cause any major slowdowns for two main reasons. Number one, massive population growth and demand. Number two, remember what I said just now, we just don't have enough stock. So it may deter some overseas investors from investing, and they may look at in property investment opportunities elsewhere, but it is still a much more attractive choice in terms of long-term rental income, capital growth, and currency valuation if compared to the situation in their home countries. And for those who are actually buying for their own use, for example, like for their kids who are coming to Melbourne to study or are already here, or even for the future migration, such costs are being less considered. I hope you now have a little bit of idea or better idea of the current supply and demand situation in property prices situation in Melbourne. These are the topics that I discuss with my clients and new inquiries on a daily basis. So I thought I'll make a quick video and upload it on my channel so more people can listen to it. Also, for those who are shy to reach out, I'm hoping that this will give you courage to pursue your property investment in Australia, and whether it's through us or through other channels. The above reasons are why you might be seeing less and less suitable stocks or property selection in the current market, whether it's pricing, whether it's location, or both. If you are ready right now and could find something suitable, I suggest you go for it. Don't just take my word for it. Do speak to other professionals, people who are qualified to advise you in the market about this, and remember to ask important, relevant questions that will help you achieve your goal. Now, if you want to reach out to me, you can send me a text or an email on WhatsApp. Till the next time then, hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you.